Morning, everyone. As you are joining, we're just waiting for others to join before we actually start the webinar. So we'll give it a couple of minutes for everybody to join and then we'll get going. For those just joining, we're just waiting for other people to join and we'll get started within the next minute. So just sit back, relax, and I'll be with you shortly. Thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Edwards from InfoTrack. Thank you very much for joining this morning's sessions on digital AP1s. And are you ready for the November mandate? So what we're going to do within this session is talk about how InfoTrack can help you become digital ready. So as soon as you start using AP1s through the InfoTrack system, you are ready for the November, or you've met the November mandate. So joining me today, I've got my colleague Tom Kerwin, who will show you how easy it is to use AP1s through the InfoTrack system. And we are also joined by one of our customers, Diane Lermas from Bell Lam & Johnson, who's going to share her experience with you as well as to how she found AP1s when she first started using them through InfoTrack and how she works with them solidly today as well. And then what we will do is we'll come back to you as the group who's joined in today to ask for your questions as well. So a couple of housekeeping rules before we get started. If you do hover towards the bottom of your screen, a menu bar will appear and there is a Q&A box on there. So could I ask you to pop in any questions that you have throughout the session into that Q&A box, and we will cover them off at the end. So anything that you need further clarification on, or if you need to ask a specific question, feel free to enter into the Q&A box at the bottom and we'll answer at the end. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to take you through a few slides first of all, just to talk about what the digital AP1 process is and why it's come about from the Land Registry itself. So basically, with the Land Registry, earlier this year, really, or late last year, they announced that from November 2022, the Land Registry will no longer accept any scanned or PDF copies of AP1s on the HM Land Registry portal. Sorry, excuse me. So HM Land Registry portal that you use now probably for registering your AP1s will become defunct. And from November 2022, everybody has to go digital. Okay, now the reason why this was done was because when you are using AP1s now, however you actually submit them to the Land Registry, using the EDRS channel that's available at the minute through the Land Registry portal isn't fully digitized, because what you are doing is still filling in forms either manually or via your computer screen. Then you're scanning those documents in and uploading. So that means that that data is not stored digitally on the system. So the move to go to digital means that a new portal has been created on the Land Registry system to allow you to actually register your AP1 digitally. Okay, so this is live now on the Land Registry portal, and some of you might have started using it already. It's not perfected. It doesn't cover every type of AP1 at all, but by November 2022, the system will be live for you to actually use it. Okay, so the reason why the data needs to be digital from AP1s is to try and reduce requisition rates. And there's a lot of delays involved in HMLR as it is at the minute. So by going digital, Land Registry perceive that their current manual process will disappear because that causes delays and costs to them. But more importantly, the current system produces delays for you guys when you're actually submitting your AP1s. Also, non-digital registration means that there is a high number of requisitions. And by going digital, it means that errors are automatically eradicated. And that's like wrong title numbers, wrong spelling of a wrong person's name and so on. That raises requisitions. The silly requisitions that get raised and get very annoying will disappear when the system becomes digital on land registry. And also they are coping with the land registry a high volume of support calls. So as you've probably experienced, when you want telephone help from the land registry, you are on hold for a long, long time, and it's not the service that they actually want to deliver. So the reason for that is because obviously non-digital data just results in that workload, and it's a lot to handle. And because you can't manage your requisitions other than email from the land registry currently as well, it's just taking a lot of time to get through what should be a fairly simple process and hassle-free for you. Okay. So what does this mean for the industry? So what the land registry are hoping for is quicker processing times, and digitalization of the process just means it becomes almost error-free. Everything is on the system, digitally bound, so things can happen with that data a lot quicker than if it was manually entered in. Online guidance for submissions as well, and fewer errors and reduction in requisitions. Okay, now the land registry is not the only way that you have to go digital. Okay, so the land registry digitized platform is there for you to use, but it's not the only solution. And what I want to talk about today is how we've been helping law firms with digital AP1s for 6 years. Okay, so how our platform is digital ready automatically. And when you are moving to digital AP1 submission, you might have started that journey already by using the land registry, the new land registry portal. You might not have done anything about it at the minute. You might not have even considered what you're going to do for November 2022 to go digital. And some firms think that they are already digital by being EDRS. But remember what I mentioned on the slide previously, EDRS means electronic digital registration system, doesn't mean that you are fully DRS. Okay, so that's scanning in the form and create a PDF from that and uploading it into the land registry portal, which you may do now, is not DRS. So you have to move to a different solution for November 2022. So what we want to do is show you InfoTrack solution. Now we've worked in partnership with land registry for years. Okay, for 7 years we've been working with them and building the AP1 solution on our system. And we are there's a lot to consider when you are moving towards that that change. So bear in mind what you have to do as a law firm, whether you've got a post-completion team, whether you're part of the post-completion team and your responsibility is to do the AP1 submission, or whether it's fee earners who do it, or whether it's administration, secretaries, whoever submits AP1s, they have to go through a change process to do it differently for November. So think about how, when you want to go through that change management process, what you have to consider to get through there. So change always brings challenges. You want to get ahead of the change and don't get stuck on the backlog. So don't wait till the last minute to make this change, because you will have to do something different when you are submitting AP1s. So likelihood is that's going to be involving staff training. Okay, so you want a firm that will support you with that training. So rather than having the headache of somebody learning it within the firm and then disseminating that down to their colleagues, choose a provider that's there to support you along the way. For those firms joining us today who already use InfoTrack, you already experience the care and attention and the service that you get from your dedicated account manager, from your help desks, where experts are there waiting to help you with your AP1 applications. But getting it off the ground, that training is vital. So you know what you need to do to go digital. And with InfoTrack, your dedicated AM is there for you at all times. And that real-time support as well. You need to know that you can actually type in a question from the chat screen that appears on an AP1 submission. Maybe you haven't got time to pick up the phone for support and you just need a quick question answering. We can provide that with online chat as well. So it's a really, really good supported service is by using AP1s, digital AP1s through InfoTrack. So a really good point to consider when moving towards the change for November. Productivity as well. So registrations will be digital only, so no paper PDF forms. So if you're not using our AP1 solution at the moment, what you will see in today's session is that you won't have to scan in a hell of a lot of forms anymore. Your AP1 registration form is pre-populated for you with InfoTrack, as you will see. So you will find that the compilation of the AP1 will come down to minutes rather than 20 minutes, half an hour, and so on. You shouldn't be taking longer than 3 to 5 minutes really on a standard AP1 registration with InfoTrack. So again, if you are using the land registry portal at the moment for the digital transfer, think about how long it takes you to do it, how many errors you get in, how many times it takes you to flick through screens and so on, and then compare that to what you're about to see. So think of the process that you're working with in a minute, and when we flip to the AP1 process through InfoTrack, just see how it compares to your current system. Also as well, software suitability. If you've got a case management system in-house at the moment, and if you are using InfoTrack through that case management integration, by using InfoTrack for your digital AP1 submissions, we can integrate that into your case management system. So you can do it directly from there. That will pre-populate the field, the form further, but you can also be assured that all documents will drop straight back into the case management system for you. So that comes as standard with InfoTrack. So not only do we give you the digital solution, we just basically help you out by populating your case management system automatically for you, okay? And the good thing about InfoTrack, which you will see on the demonstration, is that we have built in the ability to directly liaise with land registry caseworkers should you get a requisition on your AP1 as well. So the response to the requisition is done directly through InfoTrack, through something called the AP1 dashboard, and it will allow you to have a WhatsApp chat really with the land registry caseworker to ensure that the answer to the requisition is swift and done quickly. And because we have that interaction with land registry directly on the InfoTrack portal, that just means that it provides you with an audit trail. So this helps with CQS basically as well. Where if you are going through a CQS assessment, they will ask you how you are managing key dates, how you are working with requisitions, how you actually document requisitions and evidence and so on. By standard, by submitting AP1s through InfoTrack, that is built into the system as standard. So you have that from the day you start working with AP1 submission through us, all the way through to when you stop, which hopefully you never will, but it will always be there. So it's an historical record that you have. And the good thing about this as well, and probably the most vital thing to mention here, is that with InfoTrack, for those who use us already, and for those of you who don't, you won't be aware of this, but it is a firm-wide account. So no matter what happens with your AP1 registration, if the person who registered the AP1 is actually on holiday or on absence and so on, if a requisition comes in for that registration, it's not going to be missed because InfoTrack subtly shows if there are any requisitions coming through. And it means that anybody within that firm can see that requisition automatically through the InfoTrack system and respond to it in real time directly to the land registry operator. So work never stops really. So again, a part of the CQS for the compliance side of things is how do you manage files in matters of absence, basically. So and that falls into AP1, managing requisitions and so on and so forth. You can do that all from InfoTrack and the AP1 dashboard. And that AP1 dashboard is unique. There's no other digital AP1 solution that offers that dashboard. And I'm sure you'll see when we go over to the demonstration of the product that it will become a vital part of your AP1 registration lifespan. So as I've kept mentioning through this presentation here, the solutions available to you are quite vast when moving over to digital process for land registry submissions. You can do that directly from HMR Land Registry at the moment, the new DRS service. And as I've mentioned, a few of you might have sampled that already and are working through that in preparation. Some of you may have never seen it, but it is there for you to get on board with and to check out. But also bear in mind that we are a HMLR partner and we've been integrated through their business gateway for 7 years now and have been doing digital AP1 submissions for that length of time. So I wouldn't be as boastful as saying as that we're experts in it, but we have got a good track history. And the good thing about using AP1s through us, from today, you will hit that deadline of November 2022, tick that box straight away, you're through. So InfoTrack itself, just to give you a few key facts to let you know that we are trusted with the land registry, and just to give you a few key pointers of what we've done over the 7 years. So we are HMLR's key business partner and biggest user, and that's through the amount of AP1s we are submitting. And I'll come on to the stats in a second, but we are a trusted partner of theirs. 6 years of continuous software improvements as well. So there's nothing we don't know about AP1 submissions, even the most complex ones that you have to deal with, whether it's residential or commercial as well. We are experts in this, and we've always updated our software to cope with changes as well. And that's a good thing about InfoTrack, because we are legal tech, we can update very, very quickly. As changes happen, we have that within the system at midnight of that night of the change. So you can rely on us to always be up to date. And the 30% requisition reduction that you see on the screen there is not made up. That's not us telling you that. That's the Land Registry telling us. By law firms submitting their AP1 registrations through InfoTrack, they are seeing a 30% requisition reduction rate automatically. And that's because we use pre-population digital data straight away. So we're meeting the requirements, and we have been for 6 years, and you will get that 30% requisition reduction rate straight away. And this is a little bit out of date now. So it says over 550,000 submissions in the 6 years. That's more or less over 800,000 now that we've actually submitted, because obviously every month it's growing. We are submitting around 25,000 AP1 registrations on behalf of law firms every single month. So that's our customers logging on, putting their AP1s through us, and away it goes. So you're working with a trusted partner here, and you know that with this move to digital AP1s that you have to go through by November, you are well supported as well. We will train staff, we will get you integrated, we will get you moving as quickly as possible. So as I've mentioned there, full guidance and expert support from us, form flexibility, so we can do multiple forms, every single type of AP1 we've done. So we've got the ability to do that directly from our portal straight away, including staircasing as well. I didn't realize staircasing was such a big deal until working with law firms, but it is. We can cope with that as well. Remember as well, if you are have got a case management system that we can integrate with, all of this can be done directly from case management and drop straight back into case as well. Also, if you work with LMS cases, the AP1 submissions through us can be linked to your LMS matter with a click of a button, and we will show you that through the demonstration as well. So automatically your LMS portal will be updated, and also you will get a one-page form which is pre-populated. So this is the AP1 form basically, which you will see will be at least 85% pre-populated when you are ready to submit, and I'll show you how that works. So a little bit of work to do, but that should take you no longer than 3 to 5 minutes on a standard transaction. And as well, if you use this for SDLT submission, all of those will automatically be included in the registration as well. But I'll let Tom show you how that works when we head over to the website. And finally, again, just to reconfirm, we have this AP1 dashboard. Now, when you see this, a lot of people do take a gasp of breath, building it up here, some for you. But basically, when you see the AP1 dashboard, you will see for itself. It'll speak for itself as soon as you see it. This is where you will see any requisitions coming through. It will track the progress of your AP1 registration, and you can actually answer requisitions directly from there. And remember, it's firm-wide as well, so everybody within the firm can see that and work on that as well with a full audit trail. Okay, so I've gone a little ahead of time. So I just want to talk about what's going to happen from a testimonial point of view. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, we are joined by Diane Lermas from Bell Lam & Johnson, who's been using the system, the AP1 process, for quite some time. And what Diane will do is share her experience through a number of questions of her initial adoption of AP1 registration through us, right through to present day as well. So she will talk about what it was like to start working with us right the way through to what she finds of benefit and of great need. But before that, I'm going to move over to Tom Kerwin, who is our head of account management, who will take you through the system and show you how it all works. So over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Lisa. I will just share my screen and bring up the InfoTrack platform. Okay, so the screen is now sharing, and just before I jump in and show you the AP1 digital form within InfoTrack, I'm just going to explain how I'm getting to the point of the pre-population for the AP1. So there's two ways the pre-population will work. First of all, and this is the example that I've got on my screen at the moment, the pre-population is going to come from your activity on InfoTrack if you are a website customer of ours. So on this example, you can see here, I have ordered a search pack. There is a register on the file as well. I have drafted an indemnity policy up, so just some standard tasks across the workflow. And I've also lodged an SDLT submission as well. And just on the SDLT form, with the recent changes to HMRC as well, our developers worked on the updates pretty much straight away, and within a couple of hours of the update being released by the government, our calculator for HMRC was fully up to date with the new changes. So that is all ready for you to use and has been since the day the updates were announced. The other way the pre-population will work is from case management. And as Lisa mentioned in the presentation then, if you are integrated with a case management system and your InfoTrack platform, we will be able to pull the data straight from the matter and therefore pre-populating the AP1 up to 90% for you. So two ways: website activity, or if you're integrated, the data will come from the matter. So this is our workflow. As you can see, I've done some search packs, a register, a policy, and an SDLT. And I'm going to jump in and click on AP1 just here. So this will take me to the digital AP1 form. So slightly different to what you would expect in terms of the paper form, but this is the fully electronic AP1 form. I will work through an example of how to lodge an AP1, and then we'll also have a look at the AP1 dashboard as well, which is where you can manage and respond to any requisitions that you may receive. So we've got quite a lot of pre-population from this already. As you can see, the matter number is pulling through for me. I just need to select the registration type. And then we have our title number in here. So the system will verify the address just to make sure that is correct for you. We've got a little green tick there. You can add further titles on, so there's no limit here to just submitting an application with the one title. You can continue to add titles on depending on your type of application. Application affects whole or part of the title. And then we can see some of this pre-population. This has come from the search pack that I've ordered on InfoTrack. So the local authority pulled through and the postcode of the property as well. Now, the next part, this is the section where you're telling Land Registry exactly the application that you would like to lodge. And there are no limitations to InfoTrack's digital AP1. So if I drop this down, what I can see at the top are the most frequently bundled up types of applications. Everything else is listed below. So there's a big long list of all the different types of applications you may wish to lodge with Land Registry. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to choose one of the most common bundles of applications, the discharge, transfer and charge. So we can see straight away, I've now got my 3 applications. What the system has done is put them in the order in which Land Registry will action. So we've got the discharge at the top, the transfer second, and the charge third. All I need to do at this point is upload my supporting documents and my deeds into here. So if I go into upload my transfer, and then the same for the mortgage deed on the charge. And if you are integrated with a file importer, the system will actually allow you to go straight to the matter and pull that PDF straight from the case as well. So there's no need to save it to your desktop. If you are integrated, we can pull it straight from the matter. MD reference and sort code are not mandatory, but I will need to put the date on the mortgage deed in just here. And this is me now telling Land Registry exactly which applications I'm lodging and uploading my documents in as well. I could continue to add applications using this button here. So I could add another application to this if I wanted to, but I'm just going to remove that using the bin. So just moving slightly further down the form, in association with the lead application, which is the TR1 on this occasion, and the price of the property pulling through from the SDLT I've submitted, what the system's able to do is calculate the fee that Land Registry will charge for registering that property. And as you can see, that has been calculated at £150 on this occasion. You will still pay that fee directly with Land Registry and your debit account that you have set up, because this still goes as you. We ask you to put in your EDRS credentials into InfoTrack, which allows you to submit the AP1 forms, and Land Registry will debit your Land Registry account with that fee. Slightly further down, we can upload any supporting documents that are needed at this point as well. And the system's actually very clever. If you've submitted an SDLT submission on InfoTrack, we will carry across from that submission the SDLT5 certificate into the AP1, and that will just prevent any unnecessary requisitions of that supporting document being missed or not uploaded. It will be carried through for you. And you can see here as well, you can upload any other supporting documents into here. Slightly further down, again, some further pre-population. I'm the purchaser on this occasion, so my details have pulled through from the SDLT submission. And the purchaser's roles have been automatically assigned as the transferee on the title and the borrower on the new mortgage as well. So I'll just have a little bit of information here that I need to input. So I'll put the lender in on the new mortgage. And then we've got the proprietors underneath here. So these are the sellers. We've got their lodging conveyancer pulled through from the SDLT submission. And again, if they were in case management, they would pull through from there as well. You might need to just jump in and edit the conveyancer's name and the reference of the solicitor on the other side as well. And then as you can see here, the proprietor's roles have been assigned as well. So we've got the borrower on the discharge mortgage and also the transferor of the property. Really simple, adding the lender in for the discharge. And then other parties, this is where you can add a power of attorney, an executor, etc. So we just need to input their details, select the solicitor who is representing that party, and also just let Land Registry know their precise role in this application as well. Now, if you are still submitting paper versions of AP1s, you will know exactly what I mean when I mention panel 13. Panel 13 is no more with a digital application. It's been replaced by this section called Associate Applications. And this is basically a who's who and just becomes a checking exercise for you at this point, because everything above has populated and compiled the associate application section. So I can just check this over. I can see the discharge application. We've got the 2 borrowers on the discharge mortgage with NatWest. We've then got the transfer. Tom is buying, and we've got the 2 sellers. And then we can just check the charge. Yep, Tom is the borrower on the new mortgage, and that is with Santander. So you can see if everything above is correct, that just becomes a checking exercise for a quick once over. We've got a couple of questions on address and another on interests. And as Lisa mentioned, one of the extremely popular solutions and I suppose added value tools on InfoTrack is the ability to be able to link this back to an LMS case. If you have submitted your OS1 with InfoTrack or your OS2 and you've linked the OS1 or OS2 to the LMS case, when we come to do the AP1, we'll automatically link the LMS case for you. But if you haven't done that, you'll just be asked quickly here to link this back to an LMS case. That's the LMS case number, the address of the property, and your client's name as well. What that will cleverly do is send back the completion of registration and the new official copies when the application completes straight back to LMS, so you do not need to log in and manually upload those documents. The system will take care of that for you. Just below here, I can add some notes in here to my caseworker at Land Registry. If there's anything special you need to mention to them about the application, you can pop that in there. And then finally, if you have never lodged an AP1 with InfoTrack, we will ask you to input your Land Registry EDRS username and password. Therefore, once you've done that, you only have to do that once. We securely encrypt that in the back end, and you will then be good to lodge your applications going forward. So as you can see, that only took me a couple of minutes. We did talk through how the system works, how the form works as well. But going back to perhaps maybe 15, 20 minutes, maybe sometimes longer, inputting all of that information into Land Registry, you can see how quick and easy the submission is with InfoTrack. That's my form ready to go. So I could submit that straight to Land Registry right now. But we do have another option here to save the AP1 draft. I'm just going to save that as a draft for now. What that then gives you is this draft up here. So this is really just for peace of mind for those who are used to submitting the paper version straight to Land Registry. Now, although we do not submit this paper version, it just gives you, especially when you're changing over to digital, peace of mind that all the information that you have input is going to be sent to Land Registry correctly. So like I say, we're not submitting this paper version. It's just for peace of mind as you transition over to a fully digital AP1. So that's the form. What I'm going to do now is just jump back to the InfoTrack home screen. Submission's really simple, and so is managing your applications as well. So I'm going to jump over here to the AP1 dashboard. And as Lisa mentioned in the presentation, this is a firm-wide hub of all Land Registry applications submitted by the team. You can filter to mine up here, and that will just show you the ones that you have personally done yourself. As you can see, there's so much data available to you here. Just from a quick glance at the full dashboard, we can see all the applications, titles, the initials of the user who submitted these details as well. But a lot of key dates, so we can see the lodgement date, cancellation dates, if a requisition has been raised. And there's very useful filters at the top here as well. So you can filter to the applications in progress. You can see the applications that have been completed. If I jump into one of these, you can see the communication with Land Registry So that will be your name and the submission receipt of all the details you've lodged on the application. And then Land Registry have responded. They've sent you the new official copies and the completion of registration. And you've got your completed message up here as well. Requisitions raised are key and something that firms will endeavour to keep on top of. So I have two at the top here. I'm going to open up this one. And what you will see now is a WhatsApp-like chat. And this will, that will be your name just here with the submission receipt. So that's all the details you've lodged on the application. Land Registry have responded with a requisition on this one. The PDF requisition will be emailed to you as normal. It will also drop into your case management system if you are integrated. But importantly, it drops into InfoTrack here, into this chat, this communication channel with your caseworker. So you can open up, you can view the requisition from here, sorry. And then to respond, really quick and easy, respond to requisition button in the bottom right corner. You have full visibility of the requisition just here. And then all we need to do to respond, some guidance with hovering over the eyes, is simply compose a message to your caseworker at Land Registry explaining the answer or the change to the application that's needed. And we give you the ability to upload supporting documents or further deeds if you need to just here, and then send your answer to the requisition straight to the caseworker. What will happen then? You come back to the AP1 dashboard. The requisition outstanding notification will disappear and it will go back into in progress for the team to continually monitor and manage as well. One thing that is certainly worth mentioning in regards to the AP1 dashboard is the fact that, I go back to it again, the fact that this is firm-wide. So if staff leave or there are users that have lodged applications on annual leave or on holiday, the full team have access to this dashboard so they can answer requisitions on behalf of anyone that has left. So requisitions aren't stuck in somebody's inbox and therefore at risk of being missed and cancelled. Everyone in the firm has full visibility. We mentioned key dates as well, and the calendar on the right-hand side will pre-populate with any AP1 cancellation dates for you as well. So at a glance, I can see here the next 7 days worth of AP1 or OS expiry alerts. If I click on calendar, it opens up a larger view for you as well, and you can flick by week or month, etc., for that full visibility. So you probably have a process in place now in terms of diarising these key dates. InfoTrack's pre-populating calendar for priority and AP1s can do that for you. Just going back into one of the completed applications, Lisa mentioned on the presentation an audit trail of everything that happened on an application. And you get that with InfoTrack here on the all related files, right from the preview to the submission, any record of requisitions, and then obviously the completion of registration as well, with all key documents dropping back to your case management system if you are integrated. So I think that covers off how quick and easy it is to lodge an application. And I'm sure looking at the dashboard there as well, it shows just how useful that tool will be, not just for the person lodging the application, but also for the whole department, the head of conveyancing, to have that control of everything from one place as well. So that's the end of the demonstration. We're going to bring in Diane now and come back to Lisa to just learn from Diane about how her experience has been with InfoTrack and AP1s.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Lisa. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks, Tom, for that. So you've volunteered to tell us about your experiences with AP1s, and yeah, you're working at Bell Johnson, a very well-respected Northwest law firm who have been working with us for quite some time, valued customer of ours. But what is the secret of the success at Bell Lam & Johnson, do you think?
I don't think there's any real secret. I think we just have a willingness to help and do the job to the best of our ability. Bell Lam & Johnson are very staff focused and ensure we have the staff and experience in place to deal with the work, and we have the technology in place to provide the best level of service and support for the clients, which has enabled us to carry on.
Yeah, brilliant. It's been a fantastic success story there as well. Been a pleasure to be working with you on that, actually. And I understand you joined Bell Lam & Johnson last year. And
yes, yeah.
And what do you do there?
Yes, I've actually been at Bell Lam & Johnson coming up to nearly 2 years now. But with having over 25 years experience within the conveyancing junior level up to almost fee earner level, the post-completion section and availability came up, and I've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years, and I've been able just to use some of my background in conveyancing to move over and do the post-completion, and it's been very successful so far. So
yeah. And how did you do the AP1s before joining?
It was a mixture at first, very much as you said at the beginning, it was the forms and uploading them themselves directly, and then probably about 6 years ago when InfoTrack came in, we were some of the first ones to actually use InfoTrack at a previous law firm, and then obviously we moved over to doing digitally, and I have to say that I think the digital side of things is very much more user-friendly than the paper form.
Yeah, and it's fair to say as well, with the experience that you had here and at your previous firm as well, that you do know the solution pretty well. I think you probably have been given every single scenario that you could ever have with an AP1 basically, and with the number of applications that you've submitted as well, we can almost call you an expert, to be fair. but going back to when you were asked to use our solution, what were your initial thoughts when you first saw it and about using it? And be honest.
Yeah, I'll be absolutely honest and say that I was incredibly skeptical. I'm old school. If I don't have a piece of paper sometimes in my hand, it won't work. I can't use it. You know, digital, no way. There's absolutely no way. So it was very, very daunting at first. But the training received from InfoTrack initially and the simplicity of the process, I'm a proud convert, and say that yeah, working digitally is definitely the way forward, and it's vastly improved the whole experience of doing post-completion for me.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, we come across that quite a lot. I mean, we do understand for everybody on the webinar as well that change is sometimes a little bit frightening, and particularly with something as tricky as AP1s, getting a system in place that you're happy with takes some doing. And once you've got it, you don't want anybody to deter you from it, because you've got it nailed and you know what you need to do in your day-to-day job to get it moving. And seriously, other firms as well, we've had the body language, I'm not using this, I'm not using it forward, but we've actually had honest apologies afterwards as well.
Yes.
So we don't want this to change as well. So it's good to know that you had that experience. Not the bad body language, of course, not that, but being skeptical about it, it is natural. But once you do something and you realise it is a genuine change, it's good. Brilliant, thanks for that. So what are the key benefits of submitting SDLT and AP1 submissions via integration with Leap? Because you've got the case management system of Leap, it's integrated with InfoTrack. So what are the key benefits of doing the SDLT and AP1 as well?
Well, I mean, obviously you've covered a lot really of what the benefits are, because on our case management system we have the documentation there. By actually going through InfoTrack through the case management system, everything is there ready and available to upload straight away. So you're not having to save documents in millions of different places to upload them. You can do them straight from your case management system, and you can easily go back into those screens to upload them, and the information is there on the pre-population as well for as much information as possible to go through on the forms.
No, that's fantastic, brilliant. And this is a bit of an odd question, but bearing in mind how long it takes to put your AP1s together, either via EDRS or manually and so on, has it had a tangible effect on your working life in submitting AP1s? compared to the previous job where you submit them manually. I mean that sounds silly, but we often talk to people who don't even get lunch hours because they're working behind with all the paperwork we've got to do and so on. But has it had a tangible benefit on your working life, would you say?
Yes, it has. Yeah, very much so. Because you're spending less time filling out multiple forms. As you've seen from the introduction there, everything is pretty much on one screen. So you're not having to go back into different screens, different forms. So yeah, it has. It's had a very big impact.
Yeah, and whatever can save time is of a benefit, because you want to spend your real time on things like the really important things rather than filling in forms. So that's really, really good. And the general consensus is that it takes around 15 to 20 minutes per land registry application in the traditional way. How long does it take for you to complete a submission for like a standard AP1 bit, would you say, with InfoTrack?
I'd say probably on the whole, the process is certainly been reduced by half. But I would certainly say that the more straightforward applications, it definitely less than 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to actually upload and submit and get the confirmation back that it's been submitted. So obviously that has been drastically improved on time, which just enables us to get a few more in during the day than you would have normally.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Diane. You're going to be sick of my voice now, so I'm going to hand it on to ask you a few more questions. And it's not just you'll be sick of my voice, it'll be the audience as well. So over to you, Tom.
Thanks, Lisa. I'll finish off with the final 5 or 6 questions. So we've got 2 here that are kind of the same, so I'll combine them. So we've got, given that a large percentage of the submission is now pre-populated, have you noticed a significant reduction in requisitions, and do the validations and the form logic help with that as well?
Yes, the pre-populated sections are a great help, because again, you're not having to spend as much time filling in those sections. The good thing with InfoTrack, however, is that if there is something that is a compulsory section that may not have pre-populated for you, for the information just may have not pulled through, etc., you do get a bright red warning, which is brilliant, because it won't allow you to move on until you've actually gone back to that section and dealt with it. So even if you get right to the end of the form and try to submit something, it will tell you, no, you can't, for this
because
reason.
You've missed something off.
And it will take you back, which again, that sort of linking in with requisitions reduces the amount of requisitions.
100%. I think with the 30% we mentioned earlier, a lot of the reduce, a lot of that 30% there is down to the validations and the form logic in place, just reminding you're about to submit, but you have missed something. Perfect. Thank you, Diane. How does the unique AP1 dashboard improve your visibility over the status of applications? Does it help with managing requisitions? What are your favourite features of that AP1 dashboard?
Yeah, I mean, the dashboard itself is a great tool. As you've seen from your format there, that at a glance you can see everything. You can see your own applications, you can reduce it for your own, you can see everybody else's applications within the firm, and everything is all in the one place. So again, you're not having to flip from different screens all the time. Everything is there, and you can filter anything specific. You can also have a search tool as well, where if you know the title number, you can search specifically for that rather than having to just go through the list itself. And you know, certainly again with any staff members being off for any reason, you can go in again and go onto there, so nothing's missed.
Amazing. And just for those watching as well, one of the I'd say new, probably about 6 months ago, we included a new feature on there which allows you to export all of that information from the dashboard into a CSV or a spreadsheet, just for management as well. That's really, really useful. So just in case anyone's watching didn't know that was there, you can export all of that information into a CSV. Couple more questions, Diane. How do AP1s within InfoTrack fit in and support your digital conveyancing process and workflows?
It's in very, very well. Everyone who needs to have access to the documents has got access to it, and you can see straight away. You don't have to waste time coming and contacting somebody else, everything is there for you. And again, as you say, with the sort of the WhatsApp messaging service that you do have with the caseworker at Land Registry, you can see at a glance again everything from submission, what's happened all the way through until eventually the end when you get your registered documents. So because everything's there and you can see it, it's just a great time saver and helpful.
Amazing. And it's fair to say you guys have you've beat the mandate 6 years ago, so you're well in time for November and the changes that are coming, just 6 years early.
Just a few.
LMS one now, I touched on it on the demo. You have InfoTrack integrated with LMS to automatically update the lenders. What features are you finding most beneficial from that LMS integration that we've provided?
Well, anybody who knows about having to update LMS knows how extremely time consuming that can be, having to log in to see what information that they're needing, having to then upload and save copies. The fact of the integration with InfoTrack with that and the facility to tick that box to say, you know, yes, link it with LMS, it's a lifesaver. It certainly saved me a lot of time uploading, along with any OS1 renewals or anything like that. Everything goes into LMS and updates
Just
directly.
Another manual task that you had to do before that is now being automated.
It's now been reduced. Yeah,
amazing. 2 questions. We're nearly at the end. So have you ever had the need to contact our help desk when submitting AP1s? If so, how have you found that experience, and also with your account manager as well in terms of training?
Yes, on occasion I have had to use them, and from a personal level, yes, I've found them extremely helpful. No question to them is a stupid question. To resolve the issue, both either on phone or email. More often than not, they have a follow-up just to make sure that everything's been okay. But InfoTrack assist and support you all the way through. They don't just say, here's the InfoTrack, go and use it.
We're there for support.
Account manager. You have face-to-face discussions, and you know, they are very, very willing to help, which is invaluable when using something like this.
Good, taking you through that change. And just the final question, just for those joining us as well, given that in November 2022, which is not far away at all now, Land Registry will no longer accept the PDF scanned copies of AP1s. Would you recommend InfoTrack's AP1 solution to your peers? I hope the answer is yes, but I'll leave that with you, Diane.
Yes, yeah, I think it goes without saying. Yes, I've certainly got no hesitation in saying if you've got the availability there and you can use it, then use it. It's a great tool and it's a great help, and it certainly saves you a lot of time and messing on files. So yeah, definitely use it.
Amazing, thank you. That's the end of the questions. Thank you so much for joining us, Diane. I hope that gave a genuine and honest insight to those watching for someone that uses InfoTrack's AP1 solution. It's fair to say, Diane, quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, but yes, no problem at all. It's it's been a pleasure.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much, Diane. Thanks to you, Tom, as well, for taking us through how it all works on the InfoTrack system. Everybody who's on the webinar, thank you as well for joining us today. If you have got any questions, remember to pop them into the Q&A section. Hafer's here to look at those for us. So over to you, Hafer, to see if there are any questions in there.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Lisa, and thank you to Tom and Diane for your insight into using digital AP1s. So we've had a few questions from the audience, and I'm just going to jump straight into the Q&A session. One of those questions is, can you submit LTT returns through InfoTrack?
Not at the moment. So for LTT, they must be done with the Welsh Authority website. We would love to have the LTT submission on InfoTrack. It might happen, but we will need to wait until the Welsh Authority's website is able to integrate with ours, and therefore submission through InfoTrack. But at the moment, they do need to be done with the LTT online portal.
Thank you, Tom, for answering that one. The next one from our audience is regarding DJP or something similar. Do you need to do a separate form?
So we have a list of all the application types. When I did the demonstration there, I dropped down all of the application types, and at the top we have the most common. So I selected one of the most common bundles, but everything else is listed below, and DJP is listed below there. So you can lodge those through InfoTrack by selecting DJP and then uploading your deed into the form as well. You can do that.
Thank you. And do you lodge a paper AP1 form also? Do you need to?
No, this is a replacement of the paper AP1 completely. So the form that you saw during the demonstration is the new digital AP1. So it's a digital form and it goes straight from InfoTrack via the Land Registry Business Gateway, and it's lodged straight away with Land Registry. So there is no need to complete a paper AP1 form anymore.
Thank you. Another question is, can I cancel an application via InfoTrack?
Yes, you can. Within the AP1 dashboard, we have another button just next to the response to requisition, and it's called HMLR action. And there are a number of actions that you can take on that application, and one of them is to cancel an application straight from InfoTrack's AP1 dashboard.
Perfect, thank you. And the final question that we have here is, does everyone in my firm need EDRS credentials in order to lodge an AP1 via InfoTrack?
Good question. The answer is yes. However, the firms sometimes have one set of EDRS credentials that the full team use to lodge applications that are linked to the firm's Land Registry business unit. So some do that, others, literally each individual user has their own EDRS credentials, which are linked to the firm's business unit. So it's up to the firm, it's up to each individual user, I suppose, as well. And we can input, say if a firm has one set of Land Registry credentials that all the users in the firm are going to use to lodge the applications, we can set that as default in the settings. So straight away, we just input that once. And therefore, every user in the firm has access to lodge the AP1s.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, for answering those questions. And thank you to Diane and Lisa as well for tuning in today. I hope everyone found this session helpful and informative. If you have any other questions about anything you've learned today, then please either contact us by telephone or reach out to your account manager, who will be able to assist you. This session is being recorded and we will send you a copy so you can refer back to it. So all that's left to say is thank you so much to everyone for joining us, and we hope you have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks all. Thanks, Diane, again.
No problem. No problem. Very welcome. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thanks everyone for watching.